La emisión está comenzando. Todos los asistentes están en modo de solo escucha.
Hi everyone, I am Luz Gomez of Silmar Marketing Department. Thanks for participating on the Silmar webinar. Today's webinar will be conducted by Antonio Perez. He is Sales Director Latin American and Caribbean and NVT. If you have any question, please enter in the chat and we will answer in the end. Antonio, thanks participating for this webinar.
Thank you, Luz, and thank you and hello to everybody attending to this this webinar. Thank you. I appreciate that you take some of your time for this NVT presentation. And as Luz said, my name is Antonio Perez. I am the Sales Director for Latin America and Caribbean at NVT, Network Video Technologies. Today I want to do an introduction on the latest Ethernet and PoE transmission systems from NVT. Basically, what we want to do is introduce you to a really great technology that's going to help you and it's going to help your customers to do the right migration to IP. In many cases, it's going to help you to accelerate and increase your income, your revenues, your margins in all your projects. It's going to help you to collapse sales so you can be able to do more projects in less time. It's going to reduce the planning time and deployment cycles for your projects. And mostly we're going to help you and your customers eliminate some of the obstacles, the barriers that when it comes to migrating to IP, you can find in infrastructure, reducing risks and competitive pressures. Okay. About NVT, I'm sure many of you already know about NVT. NVT has been for many years the leading company when it comes to video and power transmission systems, basically for security. Something that you might not know is that about 7 months ago, NVT was acquired by a Canadian company. Name of the company is Fibrich. It's a company that comes more from the telephony world, that it has the same purpose in some of the solutions, IP solutions, which means is provide you with extended reach, long reach Ethernet. Okay. About NVT, NVT is again is a company, or NVT Fibrich, I would say, is a company with many years in the industry. We have a lot of partnerships with many of the main manufacturers, both in the security and in the telephony world. Here you can see. I would imagine most of you are probably more focused on security. Maybe some of you do also unified communications or IP telephony. You can see here where we have partnerships in the security world with Axis, with Bosch, with Vision. More in the unified communications world, we have partnerships with Avaya, NEC, Mitel, Cisco. Both our telephony and security products have received multiple awards in the industry, and we have a really wide base, large customer base that covers pretty much all the vertical markets. You can find our solutions in government, in hotels, in banks, in schools, colleges, etc. Pretty much any vertical market that you can think of. Today I'm going to focus basically in three, let's say, family of products that come to NVT from the merge, from the acquisition by Fibrich. At the end, I will tell you a little bit more about some of the IP NVT legacy products. But basically, the three family of products that I mainly want to talk to you about are, first of all, what we call the Clear and Easy Switch family. Basically, these are products. This is we have 24 port switch. It's a layer 2 switch with 24 ports, 24 BNC ports. You can use it in conjunction with a single transceiver at the camera end, and we have also a 10-port unmanaged switch. This product pretty much is a product that's going to allow you to send point to point without any equipment in the middle, Ethernet and PoE over coax at pretty much over 5 times the reach of a traditional switch, which you know is about 100 meters. So with this unit, again, you can reach in many cases up to 600 meters, again, point to point without having to recable. It's one of the main goals. The second product I will tell you about is the Polar switch family. Polar stands for Power over Long Reach Ethernet. This product comes more from the telephony world. It's the product in which FiberReach originally put their attention. Is basically it's going to help in many cases to help you to migrate to IP telephony, but pretty much it's a product that can help you at with any kind of IP device. In this case, we're going to use one pair only, one UTP pair or one 18.2, 16.2, any kind of one pair, which is usually what is used in the all analog telephony systems to migrate to IP. Okay, you can use it for telephones, you can use it for cameras with some limitations I will tell you about. And we have again a 24, 48 switch and managed switch. We have a single unit of the camera, and we have an 8-port unmanaged switch. And finally, the Flex switch family is a product coming soon. Will be available approximately in about a couple of months, probably end of March, beginning of April. And again, it's going to be a 24-port managed switch with a single transceiver. In this case, what we're going to use is Cat5. You can use either 2 or 4 pairs of UTP to extend point-to-point your Ethernet and PoE transmissions up to 500 meters. I will tell you more. So basically, when you or your customers are thinking of migrating to IP, usually you find a series of challenges, of obstacles or barriers when it comes to migrating to IP. Okay, you have your existing box infrastructure, which in many cases has runs that are over 300 feet or 100 meters, and you want to migrate to IP. Then you start to find that it can be a really costly investment in infrastructure. You need to pull the old cable, rip and replace the cable, install new cable. You need to pay for additional planning, labor, professional services. Again, if the distances are over 100 meters, you're going to have to provide a mid-span series of IDF closet power, IDF backup power at each one of those intermediate points. Okay. What our enterprise-grade Ethernet over coax switch clear help you to do is overcome those obstacles. Basically, what you're gonna need for that transition to IP is at each one of the cameras or IP device end what is called an EC link adapter, one for each device. And at the head end, you're gonna use the clear switch that has a 24 downlink ports. It has one management and console ports, which allows you for increased security and better remote control. It gives you 2 each giga Ethernet ports and 2 fiber ports if you want to connect to a fiber backbone. One of the key features of our switch is the power. It's a proprietary power system, what we call PowerWise. It's going to allow you to do many things. First of all, It's going to give you either 500 or 1,000 watt power supply. You can use AC or DC. It's a hot swappable power supply, which means in case of any problems with the power supply, it's very easy to unscrew, remove, and replace without having to remove the whole switch from the rack. It allows you also, I will show you later in in another slide, how allows you to pile up or daisy chain up to 4 of these switches, and allows you to share your power, balance your power, and also act as a redundant power. So, which means any of those switches goes bad, all the other 3 are going to act as a power backup, power redundancy for that switch. For smaller applications, you have also what we call the EC10. It's a 10-port unmanaged switch. It has the same features. The only thing, it doesn't have an interface GUI that allows you to manage. But again, for smaller applications where maybe that management is not so important, you can allow that migration to be also in a cheaper way. Okay. So again, wherever you had your existing coax infrastructure, and your client has already analog cameras, it has coax cable installed, and they would like to migrate to IP, but without the barriers of having to replace the whole coax infrastructure. It's very easy, 3 simple steps. At the head end, basically next to your new NVR, you're gonna rack your switch clear. You're gonna configure. It's really easy. It has a very simple configuration, and you're gonna connect and test locally that switch to your NVR. Out of the 24 BNC ports, you are gonna connect your existing coax wire. At the endpoint, wherever your cameras are or your IP devices, very easily, you're going to connect that coax to the EasyLink transceiver and the EasyLink with a short patch cord directly to your IP camera or your IP service IP device. And again, directly point to point using that coax, you're going to be sending data one way, and from the switch, you're going to send the PoE back to those cameras or IP devices. You can see here, this diagram, how at the camera end, you can use either one single device is the EasyLink for one camera, or you can use what we call the EC4. The EC4 is a 4-channel transmitter. The 4-channel transmitter, what allows you is to connect up to 4 devices and transmit over one single coax cable. Imagine in that application where your customer already has those analog cameras, at some specific point where there is one camera connected to coax, your customer wants to install, like next to it or close to it, maybe 50 meters from that camera, it wants to install a new camera, a new IP camera, where before there was nothing. Maybe 75 meters from that existing camera, they want to install another new camera. Maybe 90 meters from the camera, they want to install a third new camera where there was nothing before. All right, using that concentration point, you can send all those 3 new additional cameras with a patch cord that cannot be longer than 100 meters, 300 feet, but you can send those patch cords or those IP cameras or IP devices to this 4-port channel transmitter, and taking advantage or leveraging the one coax cable that already existed for the other camera, you can send the Ethernet and PoE over that one cable. Okay, This unit allows you to send 100 megabits symmetrical full duplex per port. So each port is going to be able to manage up to 100 megabits. It's going to allow you, in many cases, go over 600, almost 700 meters. And here, right below, you can see, depending on the kind of wire, kind of the distance. Obviously, the power that you can send decreases as the distance increase. But if you use, for instance, an RG59, you start at 30 watts, but you can reach and you can deliver up to 17 watts, up to over 500 meters. Okay. If you use an RG6, it's going to give you 17 watts up to more than 600 meters. Okay. So you can see here, in many cases, you can go directly, again, point to point from your IP camera or IP speaker, IP access control through the EZ-Link, individual or EC4, straight all the way to the head end where the switch is going to receive and process the data, and the switch is going to send the PoE directly to the cameras. You can also, in many cases, if let's say you are using a camera that has a fan or a heater, or is a PTC camera that uses more than 30 watts, you can still use our units. The only thing you're going to need is with a power supply next to the transceiver that is close to the camera, you're going to be able to power and send the PoE through that transceiver directly to the camera. Okay. As I told you earlier, we have the most robust PoE capabilities when it comes to PoE switches in the market. You can see here in this photo, as you can daisy chain all up to 4 of those switches in the back, and that will allow you to balance the power and also act as a redundant power supplies in case any of those switches fail. The EC10 is exactly the same. It has the same features when it comes to bandwidth. It uses 100 megabits full duplex per port, exactly the same when it comes to power, exactly the same when it comes to distances. The only difference is that it's an unmanaged switch, but other than that, again, you can power, send PoE from the switch or directly from the links right next to the cameras. Okay. So some of the advantages of our switches are, first of all, again, we are full duplex. Full duplex means that we are able to deliver 100 megabits per second. It doesn't matter if it's 20 meters or if it's 600 meters. Okay. As many other switches are only half duplex, they will provide you, they will allow for higher bandwidth at shorter distances, but as that distance increases, it's going to also decrease the bandwidth that is going to be able to deliver. Okay, so again, being full duplex is key, especially for some of the newest high definition cameras. We will see later how the GUI interface works, but one of the things that GUI allows you to do is remotely reset your cameras very easily with one click on your GUI right next to each one of your devices. You're going to be able to turn on and off individually each one of the cameras, which means that you're not going to have to send a technician every time to physically reset your cameras. Okay. One of the key advantages too that we will see at the GUI is that GUI gives you pretty much all the information about your system, about your transmission. It's going to give you all the packets that are being received, all the packets that are being transceived. It's going to tell you which mode you're using, if you are using a multicast or unicast. It's going to tell you what is your bandwidth, the stream that you are using. There's a lot of basic information that's going to allow you, if you ever have an issue, it's going to allow you to communicate easier with our technical support. One of the key things today also in every network is security. Okay, it's key to guarantee that your network is safe, that your network is secure. With our switches, again with the GUI, it's going to allow you to individually lock each one of the ports, which means that you're going to assign to each one of those ports one MAC address, the MAC address of your camera or your IP device connected to the switch, and no other device can be connected to that specific port. Okay. One of the key things today when it comes to security is the fact that many times you have a profit and loss network which is in charge by the IT team, and sometimes or quite often they're very jealous of anybody kind of like being part of that network. They're really concerned about security issues. Well, what our solution are going to allow you is to extend your network and, most importantly, have a separate parallel network. So this security team, again, is going to control the protection network, the security network, again, through the NVT clear switches, for total control of the security network. The IT team is going to also have access to that network, but thanks to our firewall, that security team is not going to be able to enter that general profit and loss network. So again, we are providing a safe, secure, separate network. Okay. Again, as I told you before, see, you can see here how we can daisy chain and how to swappable the power supplies. Again, if we take a look of all these advantages that I've been telling you about the clear switches or the NVT switches, you will see like there are other brands in the market. There are other, say, competitors that have similar products. But if you analyze all these features that I show you, again, 100 megabits symmetrical full duplex, layer 2 management features, remote switch management, power control by port, port logging, etc. Pretty much only our switches are the ones are able to deliver all those features. Okay. One of the many advantages too is that you can either go from a partial IP transition to all IP, which means that let's say you have a customer has 1,000 cameras, 1,000 analog cameras, maybe a casino. Okay, they would like to migrate to IP, but maybe at this point they don't have the budget to do the whole migration. Well, no problem. You can do phase by phase. Have a case, for instance, in the customer in the Caribbean. It's a big casino, but right now they don't have the budget. What they are doing, as the analog cameras start failing, they are replacing those with IP cameras, maybe 5, 6, 8, 10 at a time. Okay, so they can do at their own pace, and when, you know, in a year or two those analog cameras are already all them down, they will have completed that migration in different phases. Or if you want, you can do that migration to IP in a very simple way, very fast. So some of the advantages that you can provide your customers is, one of them is basically reduce the infrastructure cost and get a better return on this investment. Again, you don't need to recable, you don't need to worry about ADF closets. You are reducing the infrastructure cost, the labor cost, etc., etc. You can also have a better PoE port utilization since you are centralizing all from the NDF closet from the head end. Okay. Very important too is you minimize the business or your network disruption. There are some installations where this is critical. Imagine a government agency, imagine a casino, imagine a bank. If you have to do a transition to IP and that's going to take a month, this is difficult to assume by those end users. If instead of 1 month you can do that migration in 1 weekend, it really saves a lot of time and money too. There are other installations too where the disruption is not desired. Imagine a hospital, imagine a hotel. You don't really want those workers being at the halls, opening walls, opening ceilings, opening holes in the ceiling, recovering. You don't want to have them there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks if you can avoid that and have them finish the deployment in pretty much in a couple of days or in 1 day. Okay. You eliminate risks too. Imagine that you have you're working with a bank that has 50 branches. If you do a proof of concept, really easy, real world proof of concept, and in one of those branches, and you notice that it works, well, you know it's going to work in all the other 49 branches. You don't need to do tests at any other branches. It's gonna work. Same about pricing. This allows you to establish exactly what is the price, what is the cost of your deployment. You will not find unwanted additional costs in the future. Okay. If you're really robust, separate LAN for security is very important. It's very easy to configure, to plan, to install, and very easy to troubleshoot. And we will see later how we provided with industry-leading GUI interface. You can use also these units for small applications, let's say for emergency applications. Let's say you only have 1 camera or 2 cameras that you need to migrate. You can use very easily 2 of the EasyLinks, 1 at each end, pretty much to extend those cameras and use the coax cable. Okay, you can power send the PoE either from a PoE switch or using a power supply either from the EasyLink transceiver or at the base or the EasyLink at the camera end. Okay. Same thing with the 4-channel unit. You can use 1 coax to send data and PoE for 4 devices, and you can use only 1 cable, and you can send the PoE from either PoE always on PoE switch or using power supplies at each one of the ends. Okay. Here you have a little bit of some of the vertical markets where you can find more applications. Pretty much, actually, all the vertical markets where you can think of security application, you can apply. But probably, this is one of the key vertical markets where we see that our applications are used mostly: retail, banking, healthcare, hospitals, government, prisons. For instance, we did recently in the Caribbean, a prison to hospitality, casinos, transportation, education, etc., etc. The second product that I'm gonna talk about is the polar switches. Again, this is a switch that is more thought of design to be used for the telephony industry. In this case, we use 1 pair or 2-wire UTP for transmission. But again, there's going to be some applications where you can use it also for security, for cameras. We face exactly the same barriers and challenges that I was telling you earlier. Is basically having some analog cameras or analog speakers or analog IP phones wanting to migrate to IP and having to face a series of investments, costly investments in infrastructure. Well, we're going to help you to do with the power switch. Again, this unit has a single unit that you're going to use at the camera end. It's called the filing. It uses, we have a switch at the head end that is either a 24 or 48 port switch. You see it has an unphenol connector, which is more typical from the telephony world. We have again management and console ports. We have 2 giga Ethernet ports, 2 giga fiber ports, and the same power capabilities that I explained when I told you about the clear switch. And pretty much the diagram it repeats is exactly the same. The only difference here is that instead of 100 megabits per second per port, here we provide about 10 megabits per port. This is, in the case of telephony applications, is more than enough. You're going to find cases of cameras with low bandwidth use that you can be used to. And when it comes to power, it allows you to start with 16 watts. With the distance, it decreases, but up to 365 meters, about 1,200 feet, you can provide up to 7 watts of power. Okay. We also have an 8-port unit unmanaged. Again, same with the coax unit. We have a managed switch and a smaller for easier applications and managed switch. Okay. And the product that is going to be available probably in a couple of months, let's say end of March, beginning of April, is our Flex switch. The Flex switch is an extended reach Ethernet and PoE switch that is going to use 2 or 4 pairs of UTP, Cat5 or Cat6. It's exactly the same principle I tell you earlier about the clear switch. It has 24 downlink ports. It has a single unit at the camera end. It has the same connection. It has a stacking ports connection. It has management and console ports. It has 2 giga Ethernet ports, 2 giga fiber ports, and the same power-wise capabilities, and the FX adapter. I believe that we are going to come also with a smaller version, which is an 8-port Flex switch, and we also with a 4-port transmitter. Okay. So here you have the diagram is similar the one I sent you earlier. I showed you earlier. Again, in this case, we're going to be able to provide up to 100 megabits symmetrical full duplex per port for each one of the ports. The total reach is going to be about 500 meters. I think the latest I've heard is that we're going to be able to provide up to 50 watts of power for each one of the ports. Okay. Make it again, you're going to be able to power either from the PoE switch or through a single transceiver at the camera end. Okay. Here you have some of the capabilities of the switch and what's going to help you. What the benefit of each one of those are. For instance, being able to provide up to 100 megabits per port is going to allow you to support pretty much any kind of IP cameras, megapixels, HD cameras. Being able to extend that distance up to 500 meters basically is going to allow you for a point-to-point transmission. Again, you're going to eliminate the need to install IDF closets in the middle. Being able to provide up to 1,000 watts. 1,000 watts is in those countries where you use 220 volts. That can allow you to provide at 1,000 watts. Again, being hot swappable, power sharing, all the capabilities of our power supply is give you power redundancy and flexibility to balance that power. Again, it gives you 2 giga RJ45 or fiber uplink ports that allow you to increase those speeds, allows you also for a spanning tree for redundancy. Having a dedicated management and control ports was going to help you is to increase the security of your network, allow you to have a separate network. Again, it has all the typical features of a layer 2 switch. Okay, that means that you don't really need to buy an additional switch. Again, our product, our unit is already the switch that you need. Remote switch management. Again, you can reset your cameras remotely. You don't need to send a truck with a worker to the site, and the response is really much faster. The power control by port, again, being able to recycle or to turn on and off individually of those ports. Being able to lock individually each one of those ports gives you increased security of your network. Detailed port statistics for easy troubleshooting means that the GUI is going to provide you all the information that you need to either yourself or your technicians, or when you contact our tech support department, to provide them all the security, all the information they need to troubleshoot your system. Okay, allow you to support IEEE 802.3 AF and AT compliant devices. Allows you also to create an IP backbone for any kind of IP devices. And last, again, as I showed you, a very easy to use, intuitive web GUI allows for a very simple management. Really quick about the GUI. Basically, what you have on the landing page is allows you to give you all the port details. It tells you the transmission and the transmitting and receiving packets, what is the bandwidth that is using, what is the number of packets, what is the number of errors that each one of those devices connected to that port has experienced. Okay, give you all the power information, tell you how much power you are using, how much you have available, so you can budget your power. It gives you all the uptime information, tell you exactly for how long your switch has been up and running. So if there's been any problem, any issues, going to give you an idea of exactly when that device kind of went down. Okay. It gives you a port description. You can manually enter a port description for each one of your devices. You have also your Ethernet page. You can, as I showed you earlier, with a very easy click, reset, turn on and off remotely each one of your cameras. You have universal port controls, also allows you to power on and off, reset ports, lock or unlock ports, download files, and save all those changes. It gives you all the packet information, as I showed you earlier, if it's unicast, multicast, what is the bandwidth that is using, the type of packet. It gives you all the downlink port summary. Again, allow you to lock individually each one of those ports, and it gives you, for really easy troubleshooting, it gives you all the SNMP details that you can use to troubleshoot when you talk to our customer support. And if you, in case you need, in a very easy, 3 easy steps, you can create separate VLANs. Okay. And again, as I showed you, this is a layer 2 switch, so it gives you pretty much all the features that a layer 2 switch in the market can provide you. Okay. This is a little bit of what I told you earlier. This is a graphic that shows you, give you an idea of the distances that you can achieve, depending on the kind of wire, depending on the PoE consumption. Here we have starting usually over 30, okay, over coax, where you can use that coax. You can use either RG59 or RG6, and the distance you can reach. With RG6, pretty much it gives you up to probably 2,300 feet which is over 700 meters up to 15 watts. Okay. Our products come with it's a very flexible warranty program that can fit your plans. The products come with a standard in the regular price. It comes with a standard 1 year of full maintenance coverage. That includes warranty, advanced replacements, software upgrades, and unlimited support. Can come with 1 year. You can buy additional plans year by year. You can upgrade or buy to a 5-year full coverage. Again, it's covered exactly the same: warranty, advanced replacements, software, unlimited support. Or you can even go with a lifetime full coverage plan. Okay, you can fit whatever is better for you and your customer. Okay. I'm going to talk really quick about some of the NVT legacy products. Again, these three switches that I told you, the clear, the polar, and the flex are gonna is gonna be our core product line. But we still have some of the older NVT IP transmission devices that we still have them available, because they're going to allow you in some cases to overcome longer distances. Our transceiver is C1701. It's an EOC, Ethernet over coax single unit, that allows you the same thing that our EasyLink does, but to longer runs. In some cases you had to run over 600 meters, you can use the 1701 or the 1801 that I show you now. Basically, with the RG59, you can send, let's say, if it's a camera with a 6-8 watts, you can send almost 1.5 kilometers of data and PoE. Okay. This is the same for a camera with high consumption. These units you can use in kits. Keeps to up to 4 cameras. With this unit, you can use one single transceiver at the end to receive up to 4 cameras. You receive the 4 coax cables from 4 cameras with one single unit and an adapter. I'll show you now. So this is what the kit comes with. It's 5 units. It comes with a power supply, and it comes with the adapter. Okay. Those units you can be mounted in a rack tray that we have that allows to mount up to 4 devices with its 4 power supplies. Okay, and this is the adapter that allows you to receive up to 4 coax cables. The same unit with this adapter will allow you to do the same, but using 1 pair, 2 pair, up to 4 pairs of UTP. Okay. The 1701 is pretty much that's the same. The only difference is that you will not need an adapter, since it already has either a BNC or an RJ45 connector. This is also a 4-channel transmitter and a 4-channel receiver. Okay, but again, this latest ones, the 1701 or 1801 or 1804, you will use in specific cases where those distances are longer. Within those 500-600 meters, I will recommend to use our switches. Okay, and this is a little bit the distance chart depending on the kind of wire and the kind of power that you are providing. When it comes to applications, you can find our solutions pretty much at any kind of application. Elevators is one of the ones that we see our products used more often. The reason being that there's a lot of elevators really where somebody wants to install a camera, but there is not really available cable. Well, usually in that traveling cable for the elevator, many times you can find there is additional pairs that are not being used for anything. Again, there, especially considering that distances are not too long, you can use our providers to use that 1 pair to install an IP camera. Other than that, again, any kind of application you can think of, warehouses, train stations, casinos, retail parking lots, sea ports, solar farms, power plants, etc. Okay. Already, before I finish, I wanted to present you some of the advantages that we present to our customers. We want to help you to win more deals, to help you to win more projects. That's why we give a special attention to our partners with some specific programs. One of them is a program that allows any of our integrators to purchase from NVT at a really highly discounted price. I think it's about 75% off list price. This allows you to buy a demo unit, okay? You can use as a technical and sales tool, again, a very highly discounted price. By buying that demo, we're gonna allow you to buy the first order for your first customer in which you're gonna implement our unit at a very high discount. It's a discount that is so high, it's gonna allow you to pretty much cover the cost of that demo. Okay. And last, we have a project registration program that's gonna allow you. It's very easy. You can do it through the website to register your projects. And once you register your project, we're going to give you an additional discount. That discount depends on the number of ports, of the magnitude of the project, but you're going to be able to apply a discount. In that way, we're going to protect you against any other competitors. We guarantee that for that project that you have specified NVT, you're going to have a better price than any other integrator. Okay. Just to finish, you can go to our website. You can download pretty much all the data sheets that for all our products, a lot of case studies, pretty much all the information that you need is available in our website. Okay. I don't know how many of you use the social networks. We are pretty strong in LinkedIn. There is an NVT company page, and I have my own personal page where periodically, like every week, I post a lot of information, case studies, news, videos, PowerPoints about NVT that keeps you updated on what's going on. It tells you where NVT is going to be in any of the events with our partners or with our distributors. Okay, so I recommend you to join me on LinkedIn to be updated. Okay. And just to finish, the most important thing is having my contact information. I believe Silmar is going to send you a copy of this presentation, so you can have it for yourself. If you can always contact me and ask me for the PowerPoint. I'll be very happy to send you the PowerPoint, so you have all the information. If not, again, you have here my email address, my phone, my Skype number. So again, any project, any questions you have, any projects you are working with, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay. Again, the presentation is available. I believe Silmar is going to send you that presentation. If not, don't hesitate to ask me for it. Okay. This is it. Pretty much it. I finished my presentation here. I want to thank you for your presence, and hopefully I will be hearing from you in the future. And I hope that this presentation allows you to facilitate to your customers an easier and a better migration to IP. Again, this is a pretty basic introduction. At NVT, in case you wanted to, we can provide you with an online technical training, which is it has much more depth. If you would like to do that online training, ask me, call me or send me an email, and I will provide you with the login information for that registration. Okay, so that's it for me. And Luz, you want to say goodbye? If not, I hope to hear from you pretty soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you very much for the excellent presentation.